Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna take a look at an example node setup where we have basically we have some kind of data here in text format. This is like a comma separated value or CSV format, and this guy this time actually have a bunch of string value here. And in the latest update of Sverchok text in, which is this guy right here, we actually we are able to import like a string or text type of data. So not just value. We are now able to just import the name of the objects, and so as a result, we can have this kind of setup that's kind of, I think it's kind of nice. We have like 6 objects in the scenes, and then let's imagine that this comma separated value or the CSV data is actually like a preset that gives this object some color. So if I'm changing the color, for example, for one of this guy, it should actually update itself like so. So yeah, I want to explain how this actually kind of works. So yeah, let's actually start from scratch. I'm gonna copy the data first of all, and go to compositing and paste the data here. And yeah, hopefully I saved the previous blend, but anyhow, let's save this as SV text in presets. So let's go turn on Sverchok, and we're gonna be using this data. And let's bring the text in node first of all and grab our data. Header fields on, load. It doesn't work because you need to actually turn on this. There's one option here, the new option, force input, load. Okay, now it should be working. Let's check it out with a stethoscope. Okay, first of all, we have a bunch of objects name, and of course we have these 3 values for RGB. So that's gonna be for color. And so we have our objects already kind of being sorted based on the list itself. And I will actually just create the objects really quick. We need 2 cube, and then there's a torus, and an icosphere and cylinder. Supposedly, in a different scenario, if you have this like a bunch of data and then you want to kind of like automatically generate all these objects using Python code, that's actually possible as well. For now, we're just gonna have the objects already in the scene. If you are thinking, okay, you can bring these objects in using objects in, just get the selection. You see, we can get all the objects, and then we can give it color like this for each object. And the color can be from this RGB, of course, just color in. So RGB, and then we're gonna need to use alpha because it's a color, it's a RGBA, and we plug in the color. So these objects now should have a different color based on our preset. Of course, our job is done, right? It's not actually done yet because it's not actually correct yet. If you check it out, I just now I was doing this material thing. Just turn on the material object color for each object. So anyhow, we have 6 objects now, and the color is actually based from this preset data, but the color is of course wrong because for the cube, let's say for the cube we are giving it like a green color to make it easy. So where's the cube? This is the cube. Okay, 0, 1, 0. Okay, done. Update it, and yeah, our data is still wrong because why? Because objects in simply brings in objects. It's sorting it by name sometimes, but it's not correct for what we are doing. Of course, we need our objects to be sorted using the name. Actually, yeah, using the name based on this data. So how do we do that? Supposedly, I think with the list sort, we should be able to sort the data based on this name. There's two methods that we can do. List sorting slightly more complicated, I found. So I will be just using the exact node mode. So this node seems pretty scary, but actually pretty powerful, because you can easily use like a snippet of Python code. So if you're just learning Python, you can actually do it. You can use this kind of node setup. So we know that we have like this data, the name of objects, in order for our color, for our list of color. So we need to somehow kind of reorder the objects based on the name, right? So the name goes in there. So the name goes into this input v1. So we can actually, with this guy, we can say for every object name, in v1, simply append some kind of data, and our data is gonna be something like this guy, and that should hopefully work. Okay, apparently it's still fail because of the name is still incorrect. So by default, the list of the name is something like this. Sverchok actually needs to kind of unwrap one of the lists here. So I need to use list delete and delete list level 3. If I'm not wrong, this is how we do it. So let's check it out. So this is what we have before. It's basically a list of data. And here I'm deleting one of the bracket here, the list, so we have only now the actual objects. With these objects, we can plug this into the exact node. So now it's working. You can see now we have this list of data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they are in order based on the naming here. So that's really cool. All we need to do is just plug this into this guy, and then set the color based on that data. So yeah, that's actually everything I want to show you today. It's I found this pretty interesting. I don't know if you're like a coder, this is probably something that's really simple. But if you're not a coder, you kind of like me, I like to use nodes to kind of make everything make sense first, and then at some point, of course, it would be nice to just turn this into codes. But I found this to be very, very visual and very easy to understand. You can give it to anyone, and they should be able to kind of understand what's going on. Now with this guy auto reload, if I'm not wrong, I can just make changes here, and then it should update. Let's try. Okay, for cylinder, let's make it a different color, something like that. 111 should be white, and then 0. Let's make a different color. So we get a purple there. If we have another object, for example, okay, cylinder. So another cylinder comes in, and we want to give the same material to the cylinder. Control L. So now we have a new cylinder. Let's just copy this guy, cylinder, and based on the name 0000 cylinder 001, just give it a color, and then now it should update. Let me try different color. See, simply just work. So yeah, let's see. For the icosphere, let's say give it a different color. See, Suzanne currently red. If I give it like a blue color, as simply as changing the RGB. So yeah, this is a quick way, really one way you can kind of logically think, if you have like a bunch of data in CSV format, including string actually works really well now with the text in, thanks to Zefi, the developer, Sverchok, one of Sverchok developer. And so yeah, this is one way you can think about how you can pipe the data. So because with the node-based framework like Sverchok or animation nodes, really logically everything should be just a plug and like you just connect the nodes and things should just work. And this works really well if you have like some kind of data, any type of data that you want to parse using Python, and then whatever data structure, things that can be parsed using Python, you can do it. You can do it like this using nodes, and when it makes sense, you can definitely turn this into a code, and then you can create a script. Sometimes the nodes works really well. Sometimes the code works better. Yeah, but there you go. That's another example how you can like parse some kind of data into a preset. Okay, thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye.